Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you how to use a YouTube video as a knowledge base for a custom chat agent. So let's get straight to it. So if you're familiar with software like Dante AI, you will know that you can actually import the URL of a YouTube video straight into Dante AI, and that can be the knowledge base of your agent. However, the contingency of that is that the video you're importing has to have a transcript, which actually is quite limiting. So you can see in the video here, I've chosen the top 500 Call of Duty Ghosts infected leaderboards of 2025. Well, this is all time, but the video was captured in 2025. Cool. So a very niche matter, it's a very random topic. The reason I chose this is because I actually used to play this game a lot. In fact, number 14 on the leaderboards here is actually me, Infector. In years gone by, I spent a lot of time on this game. So yeah, and here you can see this video has no transcript, so we couldn't actually use this just by pasting the URL. However, the data is formatted somewhat clearly, somewhat nicely, so we could actually do a few things to make this data readable by a chatbot as the knowledge base. So essentially, step one of that is we need to get it in some clear frames. So first things first, you want to download the video. Just copy the link and put it into a YouTube to MP4 downloader. Just click on one that doesn't look like it's going to give you a virus. And then you can see I've already done this here. I've got the video saved. It's just called leaderboards. And I actually did one more thing. You can see I actually added these really ugly brown rectangles. So I went into CapCut and edited the video to add these, simply because there is some irrelevant information behind these. And when I was testing this project earlier, the text interpreter, which is something we'll get to later, it was getting confused by the information which is concealed behind these. So essentially there's like some numbers and symbols which are here, and then there's some more stuff on the bottom behind this brown one on the bottom. And it's essentially irrelevant information, but it was just sort of messing up the system and confusing things. So I thought it was the easiest thing for me to do is kind of just block it out entirely. So I went into CapCut, as I said, and essentially just put these brown rectangles over it. So for the entire duration of the video, these brown rectangles are here. So, and this is essentially just so that the text interpreter can't pick up the text that's behind them because, well, it simply can't see it. So that being said, we have a video downloaded. Cool. Then you want to run a Python script to extract the frames from the video. So I have a script in Python here. Full disclosure, I have no background in coding. I got this written for me by ChatGPT. So yeah, and this is essentially a script that instructs the system to extract a frame once every 2 seconds from the video. 2 seconds is just some arbitrary figure. We don't want to do it every 1 second because there's going to be loads of duplicate data. And we also don't want to have it extracting like once every 30 seconds because then we're actually going to be missing some stuff from the video. So this is a simple script here which extracts 1 frame every 2 seconds. So we'll go ahead and run this. Cool. That should work. And then if we come back to our infected expert folder, we can actually see we've got a new folder up here called frames. And we click on this and you can see these frames are starting to pile in. So these are all being extracted from the script we just ran. Let's click on the first one here. And yep, as you can see, it's just the leaderboards with those brown rectangles again. So these are essentially just print screens taken from the video, and they're going to keep filling up for the entire duration of this video. Okay, so now that we've extracted our frames from the video and we've got them set up in our frames folder, we now want to use a software called Tesseract, which is the text extraction program I was talking about earlier. And once again, we want to use a script in Python to essentially run this. It's called extract_text.py. Pretty simple name. Once again, written by ChatGPT. And essentially all the stuff I've changed is I've actually put the correct location for my folders in, whereas ChatGPT didn't do that correctly. But that's fine. So we'll go ahead and run this and hopefully it works. Okay. And then we go and run here. And as you can see, we've got a new output called extracted text. Okay, so as you can see, we're now in our extracted text file. So this is the information taken from that leaderboard video, but it's saved in a .txt file now, which is actually, it's a closer format to what we need it to be. We still need to do some more stuff to it, but we're getting closer to having this in a format which is actually readable by a chatbot. But there's still a few issues. You can see we've got a lot of duplicate entries, a lot of the information is being repeated. There's some random formatting issues going on. So we still need to amend this a little bit more before we want to feed this into our chatbot. But we're getting closer. So yeah, the script ran correctly and we've now got the information saved in a .txt file. Okay, so now we're going to try and clean this text, essentially get rid of all that duplicate information, fix the formatting issues, and convert this into a format which is actually readable by our chatbot. So we have one more Python script here, once again generated by ChatGPT, and once again I've just simply inputted the correct file name that I need. So let's go ahead and run this. Okay, it seems to have worked, and then we go here. Okay, so that's worked. We've got a new output in our folder here called cleaned leaderboard. So hopefully that text file we just looked at, which is all messy and has inaccuracies and some messed up format, is actually being cleaned up. So let's go ahead and click on this and have a look. And as you can see, it's actually formatted quite nicely. So we have rank, player name, score, total kills, survivor kills, infected kills, exactly as the leaderboards were in the video. And then you scroll down and it has all the players. Immediately I can see there have been a few formatting issues. Once again, we've got duplicates here of these guys who are actually up here. So yeah, it's not a perfect clean by the cleaning script, but for the sake of this project, it's good enough, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, if you're doing an actual project for a business and you actually want it to be perfect, don't settle for less. Don't think, oh, it's good enough. Never like that. But for the sake of this video on a stupid project about an old Call of Duty game, this is good enough for me. So yeah, we've got our CSV file with a hell of a lot of information about the ghost infected leaderboards. Such a random data set. Cool. So now that we have our knowledge base saved in that Excel file, we actually want to add it to our chatbot. And for that, I'm going to be using Dante AI. So come over to danteai.com and create a new chatbot. And set the chatbot name. I'm going to call this one Infected Expert Take 2, simply because I tried it earlier. And then this is where you upload your knowledge base. So we want to upload our files. And the key thing to note here is we've got supported file types. We've got PDF, JSON, etc. We don't care about all these, but the thing we care about is CSV. That's the format our knowledge base is currently in. So we want to upload and add a cleaned leaderboard from Infected Expert. Cool. Press next. Okay, and then we can select the personality type we want for our chatbot. And because this is just a silly project, I'm going to press informal for this one. And then we'll also allow it access to the internet. Click next. Final check. Infected Expert, cleaned leaderboard. Cool. And now we want to train our chatbot using this knowledge base. So this will take a moment. The chatbot files are uploading. Okay, and now we have our chatbot ready to talk to. You can customize these pre-made prompts here, but for the sake of this video, I'm not going to be messing around with that. So let's talk to it. Let's see if it can answer our questions about the Call of Duty Ghost leaderboards. So our first question, I'll ask about myself because I'm self-centered. What can you tell me about player infector? And here we go. It actually answers based on the knowledge we provided. Infector is a player who has made quite an impact on the leaderboard. They currently hold a score of 16 million with a total of 122,000 kills. As you can see, I wasted a lot of time on this game when I should have been locked in. But nonetheless, yeah, this is what happened. So that's pretty cool. It can answer a question like that. Because obviously, if you put that question into ChatGPT, it's not going to know it. That's the whole purpose of this custom knowledge base. And this is why it serves a purpose for business and stuff like this. Because you can answer very specific questions. So let's just ask another one. Which player has the most kills? The player with the most kills is RU Buster, 285,000 kills. Nice. Yeah. Okay, so let's just quickly fact check some of this information provided by our chatbot, make sure it's actually correct. So I'm going to come back to the video we use as the knowledge base here and let it play and just randomly select a player. Okay, let's use this guy. Rank 61, Daddy Poo Forever. Let's ask the chatbot about this guy and see if it actually provides correct information. What can you tell me about Daddy Poo Forever? Daddy Poo Forever, they currently have a score of 8,975,000 with a total of 48,000 kills. Let's check this. So 8.9 million score and 48,000 kills. Yep. So this is actually correct. So we fact checked this information and clearly this is actually correct. So this is how we've managed to turn a video like this, which is completely unreadable to a chatbot, into something that you can actually query and get intelligent responses back from. So yeah, hopefully this has been informative, and I'm sure I'll find a more pressing use case for for this AI knowledge soon.